Hi, I'm Ellen Potter, and I am here with my friends Nigel and Hugo, and today we're going to talk about writing habits. So one of the most important writing habits that you can have is to write every single day. Why? Why is it so important? Well, if you think about it, writing a story, it's really fun, but it's really tricky. It's very complicated because basically you're creating a world out of thin air, right? You're creating people out of thin air. Maybe you're creating monsters out of thin air. So because it's so tricky, one of the best ways to write is to make sure that you are visiting your world every single day by writing every single day. So when you sit down to write your story, you are stepping into your fictional world. You're hanging out with your characters. You're seeing what's going on in their world. It's really, really important to stay in touch with that world. Because let's say you write a lot one day and then maybe you put your story aside and you don't pick it up for another week or even a month. When you go back to the story, it's going to feel weird. It's going to feel awkward because you haven't visited that world in so long. So one way to keep writing fun and to keep the flow of your story is to write a little bit every day, even if it's just for 10 minutes. That's fine. Another really important writing habit is to set aside a certain time every day that you'll write. So it's kind of like your office hours, right? It doesn't matter if it's the morning or the evening. Different writers have different preferences. But make sure it's a time that you know you'll have some quiet time for you to sit down and focus on your story. So you know during that time, whether it's the morning or the evening or whenever, that's your job to sit down for, even if it's 10 minutes or an hour or 2 hours, that's going to be your job to sit down and work on your story. A third really important habit is to find a place to write where you will not be interrupted. A lot of people ask me, should I write at home? Should I write in the library? It really doesn't matter where you write as long as you know no one's going to bother you. Because writing is difficult and sometimes the easiest thing is to say, oh, I got interrupted, and then you're pulled out of your story. So you want to make sure that doesn't happen. If you are if you live in a house where you know you can go into your bedroom, close the door, no one's going to bother you, that's awesome. If you live in a really noisy house where there's a lot going on, you know what? A really good place to go and write is the bathroom. You go in the bathroom, no one's going to bother you in there. You can sit and focus for a while. You can put yourself even in a closet to sit and write. Or maybe some people would prefer getting out of the house and going maybe to a library to write. It doesn't matter where you go, just make sure it's a place where you're not going to run into anyone who's going to interrupt your thought process. And so 3 of the most powerful writing habits are, number 1, write every day. Number 2, try and write at the same time every day. And number 3, write in a place where you will not be interrupted. I hope that helps. Nigel here is going to say goodbye. He's snuggling on my lap. Most of all, you guys, have fun. If you'd like more tips for young writers, check out my books, Spilling Ink, A Young Writer's Handbook, co-authored by the amazing Ann Mazer, and Writers 911, How to Tackle Writer's Block and Unleash Your Creativity. Both books are available on Amazon and at bookstores everywhere.